From suburban suspense to supernatural serial killers, from kung fu magic to LARPing teens to rom-com hitmen, these are 5 films that should be on your favorites list, but probably aren't. Let's fix that. Welcome to 5 Films, where we spotlight great movies you might have missed, or misjudged. This is 5 films you should like, if you don't already. And today I'm bringing one underappreciated gem from each of the last 5 decades.
In the town of Stepford, the men are getting exactly what they always dreamed of, perfect wives, and the dream is becoming a nightmare for the Stepford Wives.
1975's The Stepford Wives sees a young couple moving to Stepford, a picture-perfect Connecticut suburb. But when the wife notices the other women in town behaving strangely, she begins to suspect that something deeply wrong is hiding behind all that domestic bliss. If you haven't seen it, here are 5 reasons to watch. First, it's a proto-feminist thriller, disguised as satire. Second, it's weirdly funny until it's not. Third, this movie influenced blockbusters like Get Out and game changers like Black Mirror. Fourth, the twist in the third act still lands. Fifth, it's a perfect 1970s time capsule. If you have seen it but don't love it, here are 5 reasons to reconsider. First, the stiff acting is adorable. Second, it's a horror film built on dread, not jump scares. Third, the themes are still relevant today. Fourth, this movie sort of acts as a mirror, not just a parable. And fifth, a second watch hits harder once you know the end.
That means all I know is this low pan character comes out of thin air while his buddies are cutting everybody to shreds, and he just stands there waiting for me to drive my truck straight through him with light coming out of his mouth.
1986's Big Trouble in Little China gives us an action hero who talks big in a movie that delivers even bigger. When a trucker's friend's fiancée is kidnapped, he finds himself pulled into an ancient battle beneath San Francisco's Chinatown, full of martial arts, magic, and mayhem. If you haven't seen this film, here are 5 reasons to watch. First, it's an action movie that mocks action heroes. Second, is an absolutely bonkers martial arts fantasy. Third, you get to meet one of cinema's all-time great villains. Fourth, in this movie, John Carpenter is off the leash, and it's beautiful. Fifth, it feels like a live-action video game. Now, if you have seen Big Trouble in Little China, but you don't love it, here are 5 reasons to reconsider. First, it's satire. It's not serious, and was never really meant to be. Second, Kurt Russell delivers a stellar performance as Jack Burton. Third, it's a lovingly messy East-West genre fusion. Fourth, the dialogue in this film is wildly quotable. Fifth, it's not really trying to make sense, it's just trying to be awesome, and it knocks it out of the park.
They kill a few people, somehow it ain't their fault. But what took place tonight is the consequences of what I do.
In 1998, the film Fallen gave us creeping dread with a catchy tune. In this film, a detective tracks a killer who should be dead, literally, when strange murders continue and a familiar song keeps haunting him. He realizes evil may not die as easily as he thought. If you haven't seen Fallen, here are 5 reasons you may want to pick it up. First, it's a hidden supernatural thriller under a cop drama. Second, Denzel Washington is in his late 90s prime. Third, there's an unforgettable final twist. Fourth, the song that haunts Denzel Washington's character throughout the film starts off innocent enough, but becomes terrifying by the end. And fifth, this film is both philosophical and haunting. Now, if you have seen Fallen, but you don't really love it, here are 5 reasons to reconsider. First, the twist at the end adds weight to the film, not just shock. Second, the atmosphere is rich and oftentimes outshines the action. Third, this film can be considered a villain story in disguise. Fourth, critics really missed the genius of this film at the time of its release. And fifth, this film explores the limits of justice and control.
You think it's the Sasquatch?
Well, if it wasn't the Sasquatch, we sure got some big dude walking around here dumping the biggest feces I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a lot.
Ain't that the truth, though?
Blondini.
I like to describe 2006's The Sasquatch Gang as the best movie you've never heard of. When nerdy teens find Bigfoot evidence in the woods, it sparks a media frenzy and low-stakes adventure. Meanwhile, 2 redneck schemers plot to cash in. Think Napoleon Dynamite meets Mythbusters. If you haven't seen The Sasquatch Gang, here are 5 reasons you may want to watch it. First, it is a cult classic to anyone who's seen it. Second, it is quietly hilarious. Third, Justin Long deserves an Oscar for his performance in this film because he steals every scene he's in. Fourth, this movie is just plain weird. Fifth, it is endlessly quotable. Now, if you have seen the Sasquatch Gang but you don't love it, here are 5 reasons you may want to reconsider. First, the plot doesn't matter nearly as much as the general vibe this film delivers. Second, this movie is a masterclass in awkward comedy. Third, this movie really is secretly a sweet love story. Fourth, it's confidently and beautifully weird. And fifth, it proves that dorks are the real heroes.
Hi. Hey. Supposed to be in Milwaukee killing your husband.
So why are you here?
Murder's wrong, Sharon.
You're a hitman.
Nobody's perfect.
2015's Mr. Right gives us a story about a heartbroken woman who falls for the perfect guy, who just happens to be a hitman. But hey, he only kills the people who try to hire him. It's romance, violence, and dance moves, served with an absurd sincerity. If you haven't seen it, here are 5 reasons you may want to watch it. First, it's a romantic comedy with knives and blood, so there's something in it for everybody. Second, Sam Rockwell is magnetic. Third, Kendrick brings her A game to this role. Fourth, the fight scenes are pure entertainment. Fifth, this movie is joyfully and unapologetically absurd. Now, if you have seen Mr. Right, but you don't love it, here are 5 reasons you may want to reconsider. First, it's not really a genre movie, it's kind of a mashup. Second, the chemistry of this film is the entire point. Third, this movie is more of a fable about owning your weird. Fourth, the morality twist is much smarter than it looks. And fifth, it's fun. Just let it be fun. So there you have it. 5 films you should like, if you don't already. From slow burn dread to kung fu chaos, to one of the weirdest rom-coms ever made, each of these movies does something bold, offbeat, or just plain fun. And they've earned a spot on my favorites list. Which one are you most curious about? Or better yet, what's a film you think more people should love? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this, hit subscribe, because next time we're spotlighting 5 more films that deserve a second look. This is 5 Films. Thanks for watching.